Now, on the issue of contraception, while we're speaking about reproductive health, contraception felt like an area where there's a little bit more agreement than in other parts of this survey. Can you explain what you saw there?
We asked people whether the widespread availability of contraception, including birth control, condoms, things like that, whether that's good or bad for society. And what we saw there is that majorities in both party coalitions, majorities of both Biden supporters and Trump supporters, said that it's a good thing for birth control to be widely available. Now, there was a slight difference between the parties. Biden supporters are a bit more likely to say this than Trump supporters, but it wasn't one of those large gaps that we've been talking about previously. It wasn't a place where there's a lot of distance between the two sides.
It's funny you say that because literally yesterday, a right to contraception act failed in the Senate along party lines on a procedural vote. So would you say that there is a difference in how regular Americans view this issue compared to how the government representatives view this issue?
Well, certainly based on what you just said, there seems to be a little bit of a distance between the majority of Americans who support that. But note that our question didn't ask whether there should be a federal right to birth control or anything along those lines. So the policy question is a little bit different than the public opinion question that we asked.
Generally speaking, because you bring up a good point, do people give different answers when you're just asking generally about an issue versus specifically about a policy on that issue?
Yeah, so one of the things that we really like about this report in particular is that we tried to focus on Americans' political values. So not getting into the nitty-gritty of policy for the most part, where the way that you could phrase a question might have a big impact on how people approach it. Here we tried to focus on what are the general attitudes, what are the very broad feelings about a number of issues that face American society today.